today, Rabbi Daniel Lapin. He's truly one of the great Bible scholars of America. And Rabbi, we're talking about the secrets of the Hebrew that reveal why conditions are in the world in which we live. There are only two biblical nations that have the name of God, El, in their names. Yisrael, that's Israel, and of course Yishmael, the Arabs. Is this a coincidence?
Well, of course, we must remember that in the Lord's language, in Hebrew, there is no word for coincidence. And the general rule is that if there is no word for a concept in the Hebrew language, then that concept doesn't exist. It's a false concept. There are two people, and this is what's so interesting. When God said to Hagar that she's going to have a son, God actually said what this child has to be named. He has to be named Ishmael. And when Jacob's name was changed from Jacob to Israel or Yisrael, there was also God speaking. So it's only two people who became nations, whose names were given to them by God himself, and whose names contain the word God, Ishmael and Israel. Those are the two nations. Now, it's kind of interesting because Israel means he will make God his master. That's literally what the word means. You can actually hear the middle part has the SR sound, Yisrael. The SR sound is the sound from which later on other languages developed the idea of master, like the word sir or sire, always an SR sound, or even the Russian Tsar, or even Caesar, always an SR sound coming from this Yisrael idea. He will make God his master. And that is, surely, is that not the essence of the Judeo-Christian tradition?
Absolutely.
We will make God the boss.
That's right.
That's what it's about. Now let's take a look and see what Ishmael means. Ishmael means God will hear him. Well, not surprisingly, Arabs pray, Muslims pray more than any other people. 5 times a day they pray, constantly, because part of their basic heritage that's locked into their name and into their identity is this idea that God will hear them. And it's a tremendous advantage they have, because we have to be on the right track for God to hear our prayers. But God listens to them in a different way. So,
comment eux ils disent Dieu? Allah, c'est le même mot. Allah, ça vient de El, comme beaucoup de mots arabes viennent de l'hébreu. Allah. Chez l'Israël, chez Ishmaël. Vu que Dieu, de façon pareille, a donné son nom à Ishmaël, comme il a donné à Israël. Le nom de Dieu, c'est El. Et il y a un seul peuple au monde qui s'appelle, qui a dans son nom le nom de Dieu. El, c'est Israël. Il y en a un deuxième, comme Israël, c'est qui? Ishmaël. Vu qu'il sert Dieu. Le Rabbi Vital, un des plus grands kabbalistes de tous les temps, écrit il y a 500 ans. De plus, il est fils d'Abraham, donc il est béni. Et Abraham a imploré Dieu, bénis, Lou yichile fanecha Ishmaël, que bénis Dieu. Et Dieu l'exauce, il est béni, il est circoncis, donc il a une alliance, Brit, c'est une alliance avec Dieu. Il sert même Dieu que nous, donc il a du mérite. Un homme, nous sommes tous des âmes du premier homme. Alors que tous les autres êtres humains sont appelés des Bnei Adam, des fils de l'homme. Nous sommes une seule entité. Attends, il y a un peuple qui est aussi appelé Adam. C'est Ishmaël. Il est appelé Père et Adam. Homme, c'est un homme. C'est la seule religion au monde qui sert le même Dieu que nous. La seule. Le Dieu d'Abraham. Tu en connais une autre? Tu me fais une grimace comme ça. Ils servent avec leur fils aussi. Il y a le Père, le Fils, Saint-Esprit, la Marie, la Vierge. Ils ont toute une collection là-bas. Eux, rien. Que lui. Abraham a prié Dieu, bénis Ishmaël. Et Dieu a béni Ishmaël, il est béni. Ce peuple qui fait la Brit Mila, ce peuple qui a droit à être en terre d'Israël à la place de nous, à l'endroit du temple. Aucun autre peuple a pu y être, longtemps en tout cas. Donc au niveau des mérites, il est beaucoup plus grand que les autres.
Well, I would like to give the word a little bit to Abraham's son. Could you say comment on the issue a little bit? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm Benjamin Abraham's son. I am an Orthodox Hasidic Jew from Israel. And I work as a historian or a kind of consultant to the court that, in Jerusalem that Rabbi Hollander is talking about. Most of the people here know me from my endless discussions about the similarities between Islam and Jewish customs. I like very much to talk about common prayer customs between Islam and Judaism, about the similarities in architecture between the masjid and the synagogue, between the similarities of the calendar, the Jewish holidays and customs. But it's clear to me that there's more than just similarities, that they obviously go back to a common root and a common faith. When talking about a common heritage, in our Jewish literature we are taught that there is such a thing as a common faith, a fundamental religion which all men are born into. And this is a basic faith which is obligated on all mankind. In the past, we've called it by different names, Yirei Shamayim, which means the fear of the people who have fear of heaven, Ger Toshav, or Bnei Noach, the children of Noah, or during Hellenist times in Greek it was called Theosebea. And according to the school of thought of Rabbi Ben Moseg, this fundamental faith is also called by the name Islam. In the Torah, everywhere that the word Kenite, Keni, which means the children of Jethro, is translated to the Aramaic translation and Targum Onkelos, the word that is used is Salamai or Muslamai. Some have suggested that this refers to the great number of non-Jewish believers who came to sacrifice the Qurban Shlamim in Jerusalem together with the Jews. Salamai, Muslimai, Muslimi. This could be a clear indication in our literature that Islam is an ancient religion dating back to the time of the Second Temple, or even earlier. And if Islam's roots, if the roots of Islam are the same as what we call Bnei Noach, then for us it is much older. This is the religion of Noah. This is the religion of Adam himself. The closeness of Islam and Judaism has always been understood by biblical scholars until recent years. The close relationship with the Jews, the 10 lost tribes, the Arabs, the Rechabites, all this was assumed to be true. It was only with the advent of German revisionists like Wellhausen and Buchler and others that this began to change. They introduced ideas that Islam had something to do with worshipping the moon, rocks, or some asteroid that fell. But devout Jews know that this is not true. It's a fact of Jewish law that we believe that Muslims are perfect monotheists. They worship the same God.
Is mentioned by name in the original scriptures. The Old Testament, according to Christian authorities, was preserved in the Hebrew language, and the New Testament in Greek scriptures, Greek language. In the Old Testament, in the Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16, in the Hebrew language, it reads, I'm sure Brother Swaggart would appreciate it, because I thought I heard him say that he knows Hebrew and he knows Greek. In the Hebrew language, it says, Hikko mamitakim vi kullo Muhammadim zahdudi vi zahrei bainat Jerusalem. Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16. The word Muhammadim is Muhammad, im, I am im. Im is a plural of respect in Hebrew. You can't associate with the word Muhammad. You read it 1,000 times, altogether lovely, altogether lovely. Or let's say in another language, the praised one, the praised one. Muhammad means the praised one. But he said the praised one, the praised one. You can't think that he's talking about Muhammad, though Muhammad means the praised one. You have no right to translate names of people.